Well, hello. It's fun to be a speaker and have everybody wonder if you're going to sing. It's kind of like this thing in my back pocket because I always answer, I might. I mean, if you sing with me. Yes. Well, I want to talk about respecting earth and child. The key words in this brief presentation are formative, child honoring, and an equation I want you to remember when you leave today. Earth-friendly equals child-friendly, and I'm going to explain that. During my career as a children's troubadour, family entertainer, the core value throughout my whole career was respect. Respect for the child as a whole person. And that's something I learned from a wonderful kindergarten teacher I was married to. And she sang that sweet lesson into my heart very early in our time together. That a young child was a whole person worthy of respect. It blew my mind, changed my life. And in this moment of a tremendous global upheaval, ecological crisis worldwide, economic crisis, and a moment of global awakening to higher aspirations, a just, fair, and compassionate global village. It's not enough for that respect for the child to be shown by one person or caregivers in one family. I'm calling on a culture of respect. That's what I want to see in the world. I want us to co-create a culture of respect, not only for one another, whom I call the child, but also for Mother Earth, who births us. Now, the thing about every one of you is that you started life out as a baby. So I'm just going to look at you for a moment, all the babies I see here. Aww. Aww. And you started life as this brilliant, innately capable being. And all through my career, I thought about what is it that babies and young children need to thrive? And when I heard that it's not just the formal education years that are the making of a person, but rather the first years before formal learning that actually set the emotional tone of being for life, I thought, wow, we better pay attention to the infant of every culture, because it's in the early formative time of life that the brain is forming not only the synapses and neurons and the firings and all that beautiful electrical activity. It's not just about our physiological growth, but it's who we feel we are. That's what's forming. So the word formative is one that I want all of society to learn. What's forming is a sense of self, a sense of the world. What could be more important than a newborn's first impressions of life to be positive and affirming? What could be more important than that? There are lifelong consequences of early years and early experience, and that's worth singing a song about. And I'm going to do that right now. Play that song. What does it take for a baby girl to grow up good and strong? What does it take for a baby girl? What does it take for a baby boy to grow up full of love? What does it take for a baby boy? It takes a village. It takes a village to raise. It takes a village to raise a child. Sing it with me, come on. It takes a village. No one can do it alone. It takes a village to raise a child. Very nice. In the early years of life, what does a newborn need to be whole, to thrive in every way? Do, 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 do. In these crucial early years, when the brain is growing and the love for a lifetime takes hold. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise. It takes a village to raise a child, yeah. Raise a child. It takes a village. No one can do it alone. It takes a village to raise a child. Not just the parents' love, not just love of the family. It takes all of this and more. Not just teachers who care, not just the care of doctors. It takes all of this and more. How about the love of the farmers? How about the business people? Yeah. How about the people who pass the laws? How about your corner grocer? How about your next door neighbor? Yeah. It takes all of this and more. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise. It takes a village to raise a child. Yeah, sing it with me. It takes a village. No one can do it alone. It takes a village to raise a child. One more time, I want to hear you. Come on now. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise. It takes a village to raise a child. Yeah. It takes a village. No one can do it alone. It takes a village to raise a child. It takes a village. It takes a village to raise. It takes a village to raise a child. Thank you. I sang that at the World Bank in 2000. They had their first ever Investing in Early Childhood Development conference, and I sang that. And someone came up to me in a three-piece suit, and he said, "Thank you for singing to us. Nobody ever does." True story. So it's not just a social revolution we need in the world, but an ecological shift. We need a new consciousness for respecting earth and child simultaneously. And we need to educate for sustainability in every land. This is the moment where we make the connections. Mother and child, earth and her children, we're 70% water. We are a majesty and a grandeur. That's what being human is all about. This little light of mine, I'm going to let it shine, the song says, but there's nothing small about the infinite human spirit. We are a powerhouse. And unless we know our power to be for good and for loving, it atrophies into a whole host of habitual afflictions. That's why I want society to understand the word formative and how important it is. And by child honoring, I'm not talking about a world where children rule or permissive parenting. None of that is desirable. But I'm talking about respect for personhood right from the beginning, so that you feel seen and respected for who you feel you are, so you may have a chance to grow in harmony and not feel conflicted as you grow, looking to be seen and loved by acting out in all kinds of ways. So we're talking about raising earth stewards, responsible citizens, productive individuals in our societies. That's who you want walking down the streets of your community, isn't it? Yes. That's what we're talking about. And all babies depend on Mother Nature. You were once a baby who came from your mother's womb, your first environment. And you came onto and into nature's womb, a womb with a view. But we live on a planet in peril, as CNN calls it, folks. And we need, for the baby's sake, for the sake of the infant of every culture, who I call the universal human, because all babies and infants are the same biological creature, regardless of race, skin color, language, ethnicity. So for the universal human, we need a thorough detoxification of not only their physical world, but the environments in which they live and learn and grow. And child honoring is the name I give to the positive, integrated vision that would advance the honoring of children as a universal ethic in the world. That would suggest a unifying principle. The adorable infant of every culture, the same biological being, the universal human, inspires in us a unifying principle for societal change. You make the world work for the infant, and it works all the way on up. The reverse isn't true. Infants are uniquely impressionable, susceptible, and vulnerable to family dynamics, cultural values, and planetary conditions. So the developing intelligence of our young in the formative years can inspire us with a new template for how far we need to go to shake things up in this world, and for a compassionate revolution in values in every sector of society. And that, to me, is the heart of what's going on in the world right now. In so many lands where people are claiming a different possible world they know is within our grasp. And I would say to you that what we're talking about is nothing less than redesigning society for the greatest good. If you think about the generations that are affected by one person, if you think about the ripple in the big pond that goes out in all directions, one person, one person's heart healed from early trauma, or better yet, that doesn't have that early trauma, who can navigate life's waters in rich, resourceful ways with confidence, a world where self-confidence trumps consumer confidence, a world where we shift from a bottom-line culture where money rules to a triple bottom-line culture where you have fiscal, social, and environmental responsibility all working together for the many, all working together for the many, for all the world's children. Are you with me? Mm-hmm. So folks, I would say that we are the roots and shoots of a living world, every one of us. And I would echo Jack Layton's words, love is better than anger. Love is your nature. Hope is better than fear. You are the hope for humanity. Each of you, not someone else. You are the hope for humanity. And optimism is better than despair, for your love in action is the hope that melts despair, the hope that grows optimism and moves dreams into being. So let us be loving, hopeful, and optimistic. Take a vow to honor the child. Make a new covenant to respect earth and child. Tend the primary garden of being so that it can nurture the whole of our global ecology. Turn this world around for the children, for the more we get together, the happier we'll be.